Friday on Good Morning Football. Schedule release was last night, but we are breaking it down, the nitty-gritty, the things that you didn't even think about. It's all going on right here for the next 3 hours. This is Good Morning Football. We're presented by Ram Trucks. Kyle Brandt, Peter Schrager, Nate Burleson. It's a Friday. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Let's go. Nate, what's on the show today?
That's right. It's going to be a wild show. It's Friday. Speaking of wild, we're going to break out our excitement scales. If you haven't seen this, it gets crazy. We talk about how we hate everything from conference calls to your loved ones passing gas. We're going to talk about the battle of MVPs in Week 3 as the Chiefs take on the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Plenty of more with those two studs. The matchups we're looking forward to seeing throughout the show. We'll also talk quarterbacks in the spotlight this season, from Tom Brady facing Drew Brees in Week 1 to Dak Prescott opening Sunday night in L.A. That's going to be a good one. Who's under the most pressure? We're going to answer that question. Plus, we're talking our dream game day experience, the fans, the food, the matchup, and more. What game would you most want to see in 2020? I'm talking about in person, where you can see the chaos, pregame, postgame, all the glitz and the glamour. We're going to talk about it today on Good Morning Football, so don't you go anywhere.
So excited. A little couple tidbits. There are 8 teams that have 5 primetime games apiece. Schrags was tweeting about this last night at P. Schrags. Follow him on Twitter. That the Raiders getting that new stadium love. They've got 4 primetime games. And we've got a super rare, really awesome Friday game on NFL Network on Christmas Day. Very rare, between the Vikings and the Saints. So many little nuggets and things to pick apart, and we're going to do it right now, starting with the Friday lead block.
Lead block.
Lead block.
Lead block.
Let's do it. So last night, we were just talking before the show, me and the guys. It was an awesome show on NFL Network. The schedule revealed, the stars coming out to talk about it, and Rich Eisen opened the show talking to who other than Bill Belichick. And here he is, sort of reminiscing and giving his vibe on entering his first season sans Tom Brady since 1999.
We've played it other times, without Tom. It was the 09 season after he was injured, played 15 games with Castle, won 11-5, or, heading into the 16 season with Jimmy and then Jacoby and Tom coming back after the 4-game suspension. So, there've been other points in time where we've dealt with that. We'll do what we always do, is try to, prepare the team the best that we can, utilize our players and the skills that they have, and put ourselves in the best position we can to, to be competitive and win. And so that's what we always do, and we'll continue to do that.
We'll show you more from Bill Belichick throughout the show. We talked about his guy, Stid. The only other person I've heard call him Stid is you, Peter Schrager. Stid the kid up there in New England. So once you've seen the entire schedule, what stuck out to you first?
Yeah, Kay, for me, it's that team right there. You can get a real feel for what the league office thinks about a team and a franchise and their future by who they give primetime games to. You mentioned it. 8 different teams have 5 primetime games. They tie for the league lead. This is them. And look, you look at the 49ers, that's an obvious one. They went to the Super Bowl. Buccaneers have Tom Brady. The Chiefs, of course. The Cowboys are America's team. Packers win the NFC Championship game. Rams have a new stadium in L.A., the West Coast. The Ravens have Lamar Jackson. The Patriots have 5 games, which tells me the NFL not only believes in New England post-Brady, but they're doubling down on New England post-Brady. They think that the Patriots are going to be relevant this year. Look at the Patriots' schedule, as you see right here. And I tell you this, with the Patriots, it's almost the stake of the Patriot brand and the power of Belichick that the NFL is investing in. Because I'll tell you, if the Patriots roll out here and they're losing to the Dolphins and the Broncos early, and then they have a Sunday night game against the Seahawks, or then they early have to go and play the Ravens and they get blown out Week 10. If you thought there was Patriot fatigue beforehand, like when they had Brady and Gronk, get ready for the fans outside of New England to say enough with the Patriots in this version of it. I think the NFL league office, the schedule makers, they have too much faith in Belichick to just immediately dismiss this team as someone who's going to be another also-ran in the league. 5 primetime games without a quarterback of note and without a tight end who we know he's throwing to. I think it's fascinating that, well, the rest of the country and 31 other markets might be fleeing Foxborough and saying it's time to turn the page. No, the league office still believes in that Patriot brand.
I like that, Shregs. And speaking of turning the page, we are turning the page on the 100th season of the NFL. And even though we celebrated it this past season, the actual birthday is September 17th coming up this year. And on that Thursday night, we have the Browns facing the cross-state rivals, Cincinnati Bengals. So for me, I'm looking at that game. I know we're all historians of football, and it's just special. And the significance of this game, this moment, these teams that we're familiar with, the history between them. And I know the NFL is going to celebrate in nearby Canton, Ohio, which is the birthplace of the NFL. And then just given the game, the subtleties within these two teams, I mean, the storylines. You have Baker Mayfield, who we know was #1 overall and had that great rookie year, had a little bit of a slump that sophomore season, and all that talent surrounding him, and also Kevin Stefanski. On the flip side, we get to see Joe Burrow. We get to see the new #1 overall pick and what he's going to do and how he's going to try to put the city, the state on his back like LeBron did when he showed up in Cleveland to play for the Cavaliers. So I'm very excited about this because not only is there history behind this game, but the winner of this game will have a leg up when it comes to the AFC North. So I'm looking forward to that Thursday night. It's a very historical night, and I know we'll be emotional because we love the history of the game, and I can't wait for these two teams to get it on.
You're all over it, Nate. We're sitting here in May. It feels like these games are tomorrow. It's exciting as hell. My first reaction, everybody's a winner. Everybody's a winner. And no bigger winner than my very favorite type of fan in all the land, Schedule Guy. I adore Schedule Guy. Schedule Guy is the fan who the second the schedule comes out, prints it out, gets his highlighter for a win, highlighter for a loss, figures out the whole season, and then tapes it to the refrigerator. And in my experience, my theory, it always comes out to 10-6. Every season ends 10-6. It doesn't matter. This fan could be so down on what they did in the draft and free agency and not like the coach and not like the quarterback. You find a way to get to 10-6. And guys, I did a little field work last night. I did it. I went through and did the schedule for all 32 teams. I also have a 2-marker system, and I just want to share it a little bit. I got here, I'll start with the Chiefs. I went right here. I got the Chiefs at 10-6. Strong starts, little rocky in the middle, and then some trouble at the end with Saints and Chargers. I want to represent all teams, though. Guys, I did the Jaguars. I got the Jags at 10-6. It's a great season for Doug Marrone. I'm happy for him.
Great shirt
I got the Saints at 10-6. Who dat? I got the Bengals at 10-6, who day, and I have the Redskins at 6-10. Nope, hold on, that's upside down. I got the Redskins at 10-6 too, guys. You know what's funny? I'm doing all this, and last night around 10:30, I'm not even making this up. I searched on Twitter 10-6. I just searched it up. You would not believe the takes from all these media members. Ike Reese, former Eagle. Eagles at 10-6. Skip Bayless, Cowboys, 10-6. Colin Cowherd on the Broncos, 10-6. Jared Payton for the Bears, 10-6. How about our old buddy Adam Rank? I'm sure he's got some crazy take. 15-1 for the Bears, maybe 1-15. No. Adam Rank, I have the Bears at 10-6 this season. Guys, it is unbelievable. No one has any consideration for injuries or rosters or reality. It's 10-6. We're just getting over all the mock drafts. These are like the mock seasons. And it's a good thing they changed the playoff format this year because all 32 teams are getting in. I love you, Schedule Guy. You're going to be totally wrong. But this morning, you kind of feel right. I got a Jags-Redskins Super Bowl. We'll see you in Tampa.
I love that shirt you're wearing. I love the fact that you have highlighters. I love the fact that, I mean, you can't hide money, Kyle. You've got a printer in that home of yours. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I will say
color highlighters,
that
too.
Love it. I love a different kind of Schedule Guy. A guy that Peter Schrager has made me earn or gain more and more respect for year after year. And it's the guys who get cooped up in that room and have to figure out who plays when and what makes sense and who's going to be happy and how we're going to explain it to the guys who are sad. Because I feel like at some point when they're huddled in that room, Schrags, they said, we need to just start with a bang. Everybody needs this. COVID-19 has turned our world upside down, sports, non-sports. Let's really kick off the 2020 season in the best fashion possible. And I don't know if the kids are still saying lit or no cap or bet or whatever, but week 1 is all of the above. We get the Texans-Chiefs rematch on Thursday night. Love it. We get Brady and Breeze, you guys, right out the gates. They're not making us wait for that. You've got Packers-Vikings rivalry. That, by the way, is one of 9 division matchups in Week 1 alone. Baker getting